Now, on another matter, last week the NLRB released a particularly unsavory new installment in the Biden administration's mess of overregulation. The NLRB's new rule dramatically expands the legal definition of an employer-employee relationship, turning small business owners in a franchise setting into middle managers. By one outside estimate, this rule will increase costs for small businesses, national franchisors, and consumers, all while decreasing the availability of jobs and business ownership possibilities. It would subject more of America's economy to the whims of the left's big labor allies, and it would force national companies to choose between offering less support for small business owning franchises and accepting greater liability for the policies of individual branches. It's bad policy, whichever way you slice it. Apparently, that's the self-described most pro-union president in American history in action. Of course, the NLRB is just one example of how President Biden's radical nominees have led a campaign to drown the American economy in red tape. Since the day he took office, the president's war on affordable and reliable domestic energy has been driving up costs for working families. Last year, President Biden canceled 3 offshore oil and gas lease sales. This year, total U.S. oil production has fallen below the Department of Energy's predictions by 1.4 million barrels per day. And the administration's short-sightedness has left the Strategic Petroleum Reserve at its lowest level in 40 years. Blanket bans on developing America's abundant energy reserves have already taken their toll on everything from grocery prices to home heating costs. But Washington bureaucrats continue to dream up new ways to micromanage families' choices on everything from home appliances to light bulbs. By one estimate, the Biden administration's energy regulations will drive up gas furnace costs by nearly $500 and water heater costs by $2,600. New efficiency standards could cost households an extra $140 on lighting and another $200 on washing machines. And while working families contend with this administration's maze of red tape, the president's giving the architects behind it promotions. Recently, President Biden designated Laura Daniel Davis as acting Deputy Secretary of the Interior. As several of my colleagues have noted, Ms. Daniel Davis brings such an extreme record to the job that even a Democratic majority here in the Senate couldn't confirm her. For example, she's been a key player in the administration's efforts to curtail leasing on our nation's abundant reserves of oil and natural gas. Almost 3 years ago, President Biden handed the keys to his energy policy to the far left, and it shows. Working Americans are already struggling to contend with historic inflation and rising crime on the president's watch. The last thing they need is more of Washington Democrats' red tape.